or is it ma, 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 ma? I hear both times. I really
Depends
don't
on
know.
what lore you believe.
I know. Hello, Owl Pals. Just starting it off with a little bit of wah 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 or kiki ma ma ma, depending on which you go by. Who cares? It's still chilling.
There you go.
This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends. Tonight, the film is the 1980 Friday the 13th, the original, the one that started it all. We believe the one that we're watching is the uncut version that we have a version of. So, which actually is only about 20 seconds different. It must be a heck of a 20 seconds to have a big deal made about it. But we'll see if we can find that while we're watching. But that is the movie. And if you notice, yes, I am Jason. And it's still in the thumbnail, but the only Jason that appears in this film, sort of, kind of.
Creepy dude.
Creepy guy. But I thought about doing Kevin Bacon, but I wanted to be Jason, even though the mask didn't show up till number 3. But the friends, of course, are the lovely Nanette Pacelli of Netters Network. How are you doing, lovely lady, and what are you drinking tonight?
I am doing wonderfully, Al. Thank you for asking. And of course, I am sipping on my usual Lipton green tea citrus diet, of course.
I of course have my my virgin limoncello as usual. Also with us is Nanette's uglier and lesser half.
Yes, pretty much true.
We can say that about pretty much all husbands. God, I got lost for a second. It's Mr. Troy Pacelli, the Honorable Papa himself, Clartan, the Klingon cleric. I had to like get that alliteration in my.
That's fine.
And the sound getting in there. Welcome, Mr. Pacelli. How are you doing this evening, and what are you imbibing upon?
I am doing very, very well. My stomach's feeling a little queasy, so I'm having a diet ginger beer.
Oh, I like ginger beer.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. The only place I can find diet ginger beer is in the liquor section with the mixers.
Yeah, it's for the mixer, and that's where you can get the best ginger beer too. The good stuff that makes your nose.
Goslings is what I got.
Yeah,
Goslings is the only one that actually tastes good.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're gonna get a diet ginger beer, because you have an upset stomach, whatever, the stuff works really good, and Goslings is the best tasting one.
I have, I don't really get out any, so I usually have to whatever's I get on Instacart nowadays. But I think I used to, when I was at a store, I think Goya has a brand.
Oh.
I want to say Goya. I'm not sure now, and I thought it was fairly good. They also have, I think, or I might be thinking of something else. But whatever they had in that store was actually pretty good. It wasn't Gosling, so I would recognize that because of the rum. But yeah, it seems like a lot of rum companies come out with their own.
They have a rum?
Gosling, is it Gosling's got a rum?
They may do. I'm not certain.
I thought Gosling's had a rum.
They may very well. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they did, but I really don't know. But I'd like to welcome everyone. Before I get started, I shared this bit of news with Troy and Nanette earlier, and I don't want to get into too much detail on air, but I mentioned it last night. I had a dear friend lost her son in a very bad car accident yesterday. It's a very tough time. Please make sure you drive safely, please, because this was not their fault. This was the ignorance of another human being and bad driving and not obeying the traffic laws. So that makes it even more tragic and senseless. But just remember, hug your loved ones, keep them close in your heart, because you never know. This, like I said, this was a man I personally never met, but I know I would have been friends with because he would he liked cosplay. I've seen pictures of him dressed like Captain Kirk and in medieval garb and Renaissance garb. So I know I like this kid. So sadly, he is missing. But just remember, please be safe out there, because you never know what your stupidity might cost somebody else. But that being said, like I said, love your loved ones with everything you have. And with that, that is my proselytizing. Is that the right word? I
Sure.
don't know. For the evening, it's been a bad day and a half since I heard this. There's a lot more behind the story, and I'm not going to really get too much more into it. But I would like to thank you guys for being here tonight. We're going to have a good time watching a classic horror film. This is the last in the July theme of what happened on summer vacation. We've, of course, had the comedy of Meatballs, which actually is partially was inspired. Well, I mean, is inspiration for this film. They wanted to make a horror version of Meatballs. That's one of the stories I heard, I read about. And of course, we did Dirty Dancing a couple of weeks ago and had a lot of fun doing that. So we've had comedy, we've had romance, and now it is time for horror. And we're going to get into fantasy next month, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But I do remember seeing this movie. Sorry, I'm getting a ding here from a certain professor, just like sending me something funny. I'll determine that later. How dare he interrupt my show?
Well, speaking of the show, for those who are just joining us, I did put the link a couple of times in the chat. So if you don't already have a copy of it, you can click on that and get watch it for free.
Yeah, and while we're talking about the chat, let me welcome the chat before I forget. The first tonight was Cedra's Moss. I want to put a Z sound on the Moss too, because like Cedra's Moss, it almost sounds, it sounds like a Star Wars character. That would be a cool name.
Oh yeah, right.
Cedra's Moss. But Cedra's Moss.
So does the next name would make a good Star Wars name too.
Janice Zeal.
Right.
Welcome. Thank you. Of course, Netter saying hi to everybody. Me doing the kiki ma thing. We've got to go down. Cedrus was trying to figure out if we could hear them, and yes, we could. I'm thinking we got Melissa Harris and Jake, also known as Melissa Harris and Sons 3.0. Wow, you've got a lot of names out there, Melissa Harris and Jake, aka Melissa Harris and Sons 3.0, which I'll just now go as Melissa.
Just so you know, the longer your name gets, the harder it is for someone to talk to you in chat, because if I @ you, that takes up, that many characters, and you only get however many characters in a chat. So
200, I believe.
200?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you're getting close to half of that right there.
Yeah. Evelyn Hampton, thank you for joining us. Of course, Troy said hello to everybody. Yep. Who else? I hate the little blank spot it gives me. Agent Boomer in the house with the kill. Right. Sir Tori Clegane. And I think that's all we got so far. That's fine.
I got 6 watching and 6 thumbs, so that's a good sign.
For those of you wondering, I did have in the thumbnail, hopefully a special guest. Family issues interfering again, so sadly, Fan Man was not able to be here. He's having some stuff going on at home. I tried. It was a forlorn hope. I knew that. He's a family man. He rarely stays up this late anyway. That's why he starts the show at 8 at night instead of 10 or 11. But
and if you happen to hear a lot of explosions in the background, some idiot is blowing off fireworks on my it sounds like it's coming right behind my house. So just ignore it. Nobody's blowing up. It's just stupid people. Like God, that one.
You gotta hate. Oh wow, you can hear it.
Mm-hmm. They're loud. I think they're M80s.
I can literally feel it through the ground.
Yeah, I mean, hold on a sec. Boomer, if you want to, sure, buddy. Hold on. Let me get you a link. Let me bring Boomer on. We will have a special guest. Darn it. Let me go
Get
to where
another victim in here.
Oh, and if I can remember not to hit the wrong link, I do not have an instant MeWe connection because I don't use it that much because of other things. Woo! Sorry, my Instagram came up and I saw something very interesting that I will definitely have to take a look at later.
Okay, Al, thanks for sharing.
I'm guessing it's a pretty girl.
It was something in that general range.
It can't be too much. I mean, Instagram doesn't allow for anything too spicy. Does it?
Okay. No, there are limits, but this wasn't one of those kind.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That you could find on Twitter. Twitter, anything goes. But this is yeah. Oh, there he is. We will have a special guest by Jiminy Cricket. Mr. Agent Boomer himself, how are you doing, sir? Still in Legends of the Fall mode, I see.
I have to switch out my Anthony Hopkins. Give me a minute, okay?
I was going to say, I don't remember Anthony Hopkins being in this movie, but I'm sure it's
sure he was. He was the creepy guy.
Yeah, if you type in Crazy Ralph.
Actually, yeah, maybe I'll be.
That's the character name if that's who you want to do.
Anyone Crazy Ralph, I'll do him. Yeah,
or the sheriff.
I mean, I'll be him. Nothing about anyone. Okay,
yeah.
There we go.
What's interesting about Crazy Ralph, though, he's become kind of a trope in and of himself. They've referred not him specifically, the actor and character, but the trope of the character has shown up in so many other things.
That crazy kind of the foreteller of doom,
exactly.
Julius Caesar, the soothsayer, kind of guy, the old rambling crazy guy that everyone thinks is nuts.
I mean, most notably, it was riffed on Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. Which is probably why they did that, because they riffed a lot of stuff in Cabin in the Woods. Great film, which we rewatched. Last year or something like that, I think. Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. We lost the crazy guy too.
There he is.
Hold on. I'll fix it in a minute. I got to.
There he is.
There we go. Okay.
We do call him Aged Boomer for a reason.
No, I've been locked out of my account. I better figure that out before tomorrow night, huh?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be.
There's Ralph. There's Ralph. No, I just got to find the email. But for now, we'll just go with the. Okay, this will work. Okay. All right, give me 1 sec. There we go.
There
you go.
There we go. But yes, it seems like the version that I've got and that a lot of people got may be the special uncut version, which features like 20 or 30 seconds of extra stuff or like a little bit more blood and gore than was in the original cut.
I'm going to drop the link one more time just in case somebody else needs it.
I will say this one came out when I was 15. I don't think I did not see it until it was on cable because thanks, Mom. Yeah. Thank God she took me to like some other stuff, but no, that's this one she wouldn't take me to. Or I really wasn't into horror back then too much. I was definitely the sci-fi guy, and this was 1980, and I think I was in like Star Wars Empire Strikes Back vibration mode, waiting for Empire to come back out. To come out for the first time. So I didn't see it until it was on the wonderful days when we had like the HBOs and the Showtimes, and they would show this film after 8:00 at night only, several times a week, and you always had a chance to see it. It was kind of a neat thing, and it was a great. They always seem to love to show it on a Friday at like 11. And that's a great time to watch this movie.
That makes sense. Yeah, especially on a Friday.
Yeah, Friday or Saturday night. But yeah, like Friday at like 11 is a good time to watch this film for some reason. When I had cable like that and I was young, that kind of be the time when they had that's the movies you wanted to watch was when they came up that's the time they seem to pop on. But did you guys have a previous experience with this memorable thing? Is this figure
I've never
deeply into
seen
your
it.
life? You've never seen it.
I'm not into
Oh,
horror films. Troy can tell you, I really don't. I don't like slasher films.
Oh,
When they're
okay.
horror films where they make you think, that's one thing. But I don't like cut 'em up slasher movies.
This
Never
movie
have.
makes you think.
It's
Makes
like
me
a
think,
whodunit.
I'm
It's
never
like a
how
going
would
to
I
heaven.
survive?
makes you think, God, I wish I was somewhere else. No, but like critics, here's what some of the critics say. We're going to start in a moment. I know it's about time, but some of the critics when it first came out said silly, boring, youth-geared horror movie.
Oh,
Low budget in the worst sense, no apparent talent or intelligence to offset its technical
Wow.
inadequacies.
Those comments don't age well.
But where was the one that I was like, this now? Okay, now here's the one that makes you want to see it, even though it was meant to be a bad review. Gruesome violence in which throats are slashed and heads are split open in realistic detail, and the sum content of Friday the 13th, sick and sickening low-budget feature that is being released by Paramount. It's blatant exploitation of the lowest order. I am there. That's a bad review that actually gets me to go see a movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was but, this
honestly-
is not a film for a mainstream critic. It's just not.
I
This is for the YouTube critic now.
I was a little bit late coming to this movie. I did not. A lot of these 80s horror films I didn't see until, you could see them on what do you call it? Home video.
Mhm.
And usually then it was like at a friend's house for a Halloween party or something like that. And I do
Right.
remember seeing this one for the first time as part of a Halloween party.
Yeah. Well, we have talked and talked. Let's get this ball rolling.
Get
It's
right
already
into it.
17 after. Let me get my screen straight here. So I'm 5 seconds in. The Paramount stars have just appeared. So I'm looking at a mountain and stars before the logo appears.
all right.
Yep.
Let me link up. Hold
So
on.
we good?
Yep.
But yeah, this film, huge hit, made its money back the first week easily. And I think at the end of its theatrical run had made 80 times the investment, of how much it cost. It cost like 50,000 and it made almost 400,000. I mean 40 million. Something, yeah, 40 million off of a $500,000 budget. Sorry, I got my numbers screwed up there.
Just say that's a big difference.
Yeah, but it
I don't
made
know,
a lot
man.
of money.
That's math. I don't know.
I
my
might have
math.
been. Yeah, I can say I might have that wrong. What was its budget? Yeah, I was right. Okay, about a little over $500,000, and it actually made almost 60 million. So, math was never my forte, basically. But if we are ready to roll in 3, 2, 1, play.
Paramount Gulf Western.
I'm in the blue one.
Yep.
Okay.
Back in the, I still prefer Sean S. Cunningham film. God, what plain font that is.
I think that's
Yeah.
Ariel.
That's how you
Yeah.
open up on that moon hidden by the tree or the clouds. That's a great
Yeah.
way to open a horror film.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Well, it was a dark summer night.
We got some nice camp.
Camp Crystal Lake. Actually filmed at a place called Camp Nobi Bosco in New Jersey.
Jersey, yeah.
Really? I kept thinking
Yep.
this was shot in Canada. I know it was a Canadian production, wasn't it?
Don't know, actually.
Okay.
Maybe one of the other 13 films was done in
Meatballs was done in Canada.
Yeah, well, I always point out that the difference between Canadian slashers and American slashers is Canadian ones tend to be more of a whodunit, whereas
Yeah.
Americans, you pretty much know who the killer is. It's it's
Yeah,
well,
it's-
the way that you can always figure out who the killer is in a Canadian film is after he slashes it, he goes, "I'm totally sorry."
No offense, eh?
No offense, eh? Right.
Oh.
Sorry about that, eh? I kill you and then I grab a Molson, eh?
So this is what 1958. Do we think that
Yep.
they're doing pretty good with the period look of this right now?
I don't see why not. I mean,
Yeah, it's
especially
very-
when you see the Raggedy Ann figure,
I mean,
doll.
It
there.
could, it literally could look like a camp today because it's always looks old.
True.
But they, I mean, this, like I said, they filmed everything at this place. The only set they built was a bathroom set. Everything else was there.
The only thing that I would pick on was the card or the board games. Although period appropriate, looked way too aged. They should have been more new looking. But I can forgive it.
Somebody making googly eyes, and we all know what that means in a slasher film.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Baka baka ch ch.
Right.
I thought it was brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a nice, cool shot, though. Just a simple moon, full moon with the clouds going across. This is creepy. Even at this point, you're watching, and you really don't have any reason to feel creepy except for the sound that was made earlier. There's a distinct lack of music in this film, except when the killer's on the screen, where you get the killer point of view.
It's true. Tom Dooley was released in 1958.
What's Tom Dooley?
It's
The
a
song
right?
that they were singing.
Oh, okay.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hang your head low because you know you did something bad, right?
Although it would have just been released because I don't think it really got big on the charts until November, and this is supposed to be the summer.
Well, you know these
Well,
are
they were progressive. they were up on that modern music,
I
man.
guess.
these were the hip kids.
You know, I'm a country boy. I love wood accent. I love wood. I live in a big white place now, but it's all right. I mean, it's much better where I was, but I do love the look of wood.
I see socks and nothing else. Oh wait, I see pants.
Yeah, there's other stuff. They haven't gotten there yet,
It's
boomer.
1958. They don't get naked in 1958.
Yeah, children were created by osmosis.
Right.
At least
This-
he
this-
got to second base.
It was the stork, right?
Of course, yeah.
And here we go. History is made. The first person to die in the Friday the 13th franchise. Right there, buddy.
Now, this, I believe, is the unrated version, so we're seeing all of the good gory bits that got cut out of the theatrical version, right?
I
Yes.
think so, yeah.
And these effects were done by Tom Savini, I believe, right? The man
Oh,
that
yeah.
did
Yeah,
the-
Absolutely.
Savini was a part of their crew, yeah.
He was? Yeah.
Yes,
that's
he
what I
was.
thought.
He actually, iconic shot.
Right? I mean, that is kind of brilliant. It's a cheap effect, but it's effective.
That could
Yeah.
be the poster, you know, right there.
Yeah.
You know, just-
And
That,
that was,
makes me think it should be 3D.
well, that's
well,
coming.
th-
So that
that's
won't be
two
coming
films
till the
away.
third movie, right?
That was actually, they used that effect on a short little thing to not a proof of concept kind of thing, but a promotional.
Mm.
Before they had a script, they had the title
Wow.
to get the money, and they got the offer to cover the $500,000, but for
Yeah,
a
special
big,
effects, Tom Savini.
amount of money on the back end, which Cunningham was a little upset about,
Hmm.
but he didn't have any other chance because he needed the money, so he capitulated.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. You were asking for a timestamp where I'm
Oh.
seeing.
I got 609, 610, 611. That's where I'm at.
and
written
I'm
by
about a
Victor
second ahead
Miller.
of him.
Produced and directed by Sean S. Cunningham. I want to see Sean Gunn when I looked at anybody named Sean. I think a Gunn now. Frank's Delicatessen. Now, see, I would go to a Frank's Delicatessen. That's where you get the good stuff.
Looks like that one's boarded up, though.
Yeah, I bet it had good stuff in its day, though. I bet they had good potato salad,
You get a knish.
coleslaw, get a knish. I've never had a knish. What is a knish?
I had it in.
Is it like a potato wrapped thing?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a potato cake. It's very. I only had it once. It was in Katz's Deli in New York City. My friend Travis's dad, I got him for the table, and it was really good. It was like I was gonna say it's almost like what are those things, pierogies, but it's more like a crisp shell on the outside rather than it being a soft shell. Yeah.
I love a pierogi. So it's basically a potato, like a fried potato cake, but a little more.
Kind of. It's been so long. It was good though.
Yeah.
I'd have it again. Yeah.
Now a latke, like a latke.
Now I have to say something about this scene. Okay, the dog's not going to tell you where Camp Crystal Lake is. The dog's going to say, "Give me a bone." Okay.
Yeah.
Girls on drugs.
You know,
I love that. I love that I love the I don't know if you call it architecture, but I like how that place is set, like how the slope is, because it looks like you could actually use a wheelchair for most of it. Maybe
There's a lot of places around here like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that look. But yeah, man, now I want to.
Notice the phone on the wall there that no one would use anymore.
Yeah.
they're all looking at her.
Yeah.
You expect to hear that record screech noise.
Yeah, right.
The jukebox be playing. You hear that? Yes.
Yep. Oh, and that, even though it is just turning the 1980 at this time, it's a classic 80 hair, man. Actually, it's got a little bit of the late 70s definitely happening, the Farrah type hair.
This might be right on the cusp. Is this 80?
Yeah, it was 1980. Yeah. I think it came out May of 1980. It was his release date.
So it was probably shot in 79, I would think, right? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Get my off my damn yard. Yeah, this film came out a few weeks before Empire.
Really?
Yeah.
Ralph needs to go bug the people in the public library. Okay.
He says he's a real prophet of doom, ain't he? Well, that's exactly what he is.
Stanhope, New Jersey. See, we got our setting there.
Am I the only one who noticed that he decided to help her into the truck by putting his hands on her butt to lift her up?
Just like a man is supposed to do. Nothing wrong with it until the Me Too generation came around. It's the cushioning. See, it's the cushioning. That helps a person up. It's a good center of gravity.
Right. Well,
what are you gonna do? Grab the back of her thigh?
I was just gonna say, what else are you gonna push on? I mean, there's.
You yank her by the arm and just throw her in. That's what you do. Okay.
I will say, the Crazy Ralph guy reminds me of the guy from Phantasm, which is a film I've never seen.
You haven't?
I've not seen Phantasm.
Very interesting. Very different from most of these types of horror films.
I know about the silver ball with the blade that comes out. And that's about it. And the crazy old guy. That's all I really know about it. I don't know any concepts.
I remember one time a guy online was trying to come up with a list of surrealistic horror movies, and he had Italy and Japan. He says, I can't find an American one. And I said, Phantasm. He's like, yes, that's it. Phantasm. Very surrealistic. What's dream? What's reality? It's an interesting movie.
Yeah, it's not quite as trippy as like At the Mouth of Madness, but it's kind of similar. Yeah. This idea of alternate realities or other worlds or something like that, kind of touching ours.
It's one of those. I keep meaning to do it, but just haven't gotten around to it. I've always got something else in the queue, basically in my brain. Like right now, I got Jungle Cruise, and I got a horror film that the Fan Man told me about that sounds good, which was written by James Gunn.
What's it called?
Something about Belko Hotel, something Belko.
Didn't hear of it.
I forget the exact title of it. Let me see.
I think he did Slither, though, right? Wasn't that the one with Nathan Fillion with the slugs?
Yeah, it's called the Belko Experiment.
Okay.
That's what he was talking. He told me about it yesterday, and the Fan Man gives good horror recommendations.
He's saying you're an American original. Are these Canadian actors?
No,
Okay.
a lot of these actors were chosen because they looked good and they looked like they'd be in a Pepsi commercial and they looked like they could be a camp counselor. That's exactly what they were looking for. They were just hoping that if they look good and could read passably the lines of the script.
You know, Al, you're an Aubrey Plaza fan, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Have you seen Life After Beth?
Yes, I have. I like that
Okay.
film. That's a cool film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it. It was-
I was watching some Parks and Rec this afternoon. Actually, that's my when I play Angry Birds,
Uh-huh.
I always put on Parks and Rec in the background and listen to it.
Mm.
And then sometimes I'll watch it for key scenes, but I just love listening to it.
So there's Kevin Bacon.
Yes, yes, yes.
No 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon needed with this movie, huh? Because it's just, no.
Yep, and I am 3 degrees away from Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I think you said that once before.
So if you're ever playing that game, you can use me for reference.
Yeah.
I forget what the things are. It's like, you have Troy. I know Troy knows it. It's like I was in Poltergeist 3 with somebody who was
Nancy
in
Allen.
Novocaine.
And I think Nancy Allen was in Novocaine.
Novocaine with Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
That's my that was my MeWe background there.
I don't like his stash.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Not many guys can pull off a mustache without a beard.
Well, Selleck and Burt Reynolds. Might be a few others out there.
Franco Nero. Franco Nero.
Oh yeah, Franco Nero had a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Now, of course, the difference we have the two the real hot girls, and you have the all-American,
Yeah.
apple pie type of girl, and Alice here.
Yep, she's the girl next door.
Yep.
She's definitely got some great hair.
It's got that Dorothy Hamill kind of
Yeah, kind of.
thing happening. Robert Goulet, thank you, Sir Torrin Clegane. Yeah, it's another good stash. Yeah, I've never done just the stash. I've always had the full beard. Well, not the full beard, but chin hair.
So they're trying to fix up the camp to get it ready for the kids, right?
Yep, because it's been closed since the badness, hadn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So what, over 20 years?
Yeah, this way, yeah, about 20 years at this point. Yeah, a little over.
So it makes sense they would have to fix some stuff up.
I noticed, Sir Torrin, you point out Robert Goulet, Clark Gable, and they both had very, very thin mustaches.
Yeah,
And I think that's the key. If it's a trim, thin mustache, you're okay. If it's one like this, that's a porn stash.
Yeah, the porn stash. Yeah, oh definitely. Yeah, there's like a big name porn stash guy who was a porn star, but he had this. Was it something like Reed or something?
Was he
Not
the one
me.
Val Kilmer played
Forget.
in the movie? Wasn't there a movie about him starring Val Kilmer?
That was John Holmes.
John Holmes. Okay, yeah.
He did. Yeah, John Holmes did have the stash.
I think
I know
all
him.
guys did in the 70s.
Yeah, that was a 70s thing.
I remember listening to one podcast you'd have you'd have the best looking women with the skeeziest looking men in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is an all-American little girl there. Someone's getting a little grabby.
Me too. Me too.
I used to have that hairstyle.
Yeah.
You've had almost every hairstyle, it sounds like.
And almost every hair color.
I've never had an afro.
Well, yeah, it's probably
I've had a
best to
perm.
stay away from the perms. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a perm, but I've never had an afro.
So this is not the movie that kicked off the slasher craze, but it was early on, right? I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Well, it depends on where you define that.
Like if
I
you
mean,
start with Halloween, but people
No.
might start earlier. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, most people put Halloween as the first big one, and then
although there's also
this one-
Psycho.
yeah, but Psycho's a little more.
Yeah, it's definitely more on the thriller side. more
Yeah, where it's
suspense.
pure slasher, pure. Like you said, who's doing it. There's no
Yeah.
mystery. Although there is in this one, there is a mystery. You really,
True.
you really don't know.
Yeah, this one you do. Yeah, every other one it's Jason. It's Jason. It's always Jason, not this one.
And actually, no, Jason. I don't think like for the first 5 films, he's only like the major killer in like 2 of them, isn't he? 2 or 3, maybe.
Well, there was a couple that changed up because,
Yeah.
especially like during the time when Jason was dead, he's not around until the end of the movie, and
Yeah,
other
see,
people
this is-
were doing the murders.
This is why I wanted Fan Man here, because he would know. Oh, and that shot right there, Tom Savini did that shot.
Did he really?
Yeah, I read.
From fairly close.
I'm not sure how close. It's just that was him who did that shot with her standing there.
Yeah, that's freaking dangerous.
And is it me, or were shorts much shorter
Yeah,
back then?
yeah, they were, and it looked stupid on guys.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
that was super dangerous.
Yes,
Yep.
it was. Which was
That's why I said, was he closer? Because unless you're really close, I don't care how good you are, there's still a chance.
Yeah, but Tom Savini, he never gets the credit for outside of the makeup thing that he sometimes deserves. Because he was in a movie called Night Riders about medieval. It was medievalists that did a show on motorcycles and jousted and stuff, and he was in that, which was I thought he was really good in.
Did you say anything?
I used to have that shirt.
Now I got to see the shirt again.
And I like the budgetary thing. There are 2 Jeeps that show up in this film, and they're both the same Jeep.
Oh,
One has a top, the other doesn't. That's the only difference. Like, uh-oh. Very Jaws inspired too. Dun.
when did this film come out in relationship to Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Don't know.
But now you don't have your stuff.
That was a good dive, though.
She's lucky
thing
she
she
didn't
didn't-
roll right into that boulder.
I gotta say, it's a good thing she didn't crack her head on that boulder.
Girl, get up and run. Why are you not running? Why are you looking behind? Just run. Why do they always look behind?
Well, see, when they did this film, they really didn't. This
Aged
is like
Boomers in the Green
how
Room.
it started. Oh, he popped out.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. There
Thank
you
you. Sorry, I don't know how I got knocked out. I just did. Okay. All right. So this is.
But yeah, like Nanette goes, he goes, why do they always look behind? Well, remember, this is one of the first ones like this as far as being popular. So she's actually doing something they usually didn't do because it was one of the early ones.
That's
Mm.
true.
Like I
This
said,
is the
today's
one that
eyes.
set those tropes, right?
Exactly, yeah. Just like the naughty girls always get killed.
Well, here's the problem. She was looking back, and now she can't find the person that was pursuing her, right? Well, now she has. I'm just saying.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a good thing she didn't get impaled on that stick sticking out of the ground.
Wow, that's a good effect.
Yep.
Yeah, that got cut by the censors.
I'm sure it did.
Ooh, Great Wharf.
Yeah, they can't restore the others. This was the only one they could restore the effects back into. Because the MPAA would have a field day with these. Oh.
Yeah. They got away with a lot more than they thought they were going to get away with in retrospect.
Although seeing those kinds of effects restored just underscores the talent of Savini.
Mm-hmm.
They've got apps on Facebook to figure that out now.
Sir Torrin Clegane is saying it's 7 years after Chainsaw Massacre. So Chainsaw Massacre predated Halloween then. So Chainsaw Massacre is like one of the earlies
Yeah,
also.
maybe that's where it started.
I mean, I'm sure there's there's ones all over the place. But I really think, but even you look at Halloween, it still took 2 more years to get here. And then when this hit, it exploded.
Yeah.
Like there were horror films and slasher films all over the place. Now you gotta admit, aside from the bad history, it is a nice little place.
I was just thinking back to that previous murder scene, and the hand that was holding that knife was not what's her name. That was a guy's hand.
Well, maybe she had man hands.
Maybe.
Wasn't there a Seinfeld episode about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that, though, is when she's cracking the lobster.
So, you scared yet, Nanette?
Well, I don't like the stabby bits, but
It's just getting started. Like I said, you look back, it's fairly tame
Yeah, it is.
considering what's become.
Yeah.
Especially some of the stuff that you see nowadays. But I love a good old horror, good old slasher film from the '80s for this reason. What that girl's wearing right there, and what all the other girls are wearing. There's just something great about it.
Have to give him the mouth to mouth.
Which is exactly what he wanted.
Ah! That would be problematic today, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd have everybody that was a first responder yelling, there should be a barrier, and you don't even need to do that. Just start the chest compressions. Chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions. She does have great hair.
Yeah, she does. They all have great hair. I mean, the '80s had great hair.
Yeah.
Lots of product to get that hair like that.
she must have been using, gee, your hair smells terrific.
Is that even a lot? Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like snakes.
Now there's a bit of something about this scene too that I will
They really
reveal
killed the
what's
snake,
happened.
didn't they?
Yeah, they really killed the snake,
Can't get away with that these days either.
and
And
it
she-
was
She says
It
it really
was,
low, too. There's a snake over there. Like it can hear her.
And understand her.
yeah. There's a Ixnay over by the Orner K.
Why are we in here?
Then why are you getting that close to it?
Yeah, and all of them. Oh, gee. This is like
You could
this
have
is
done
like the Three Stooges
That's what I
here.
was about to say. They should have done a Three Stooges where they were trying to kill a snake in a cat.
Yeah, let's hit it with a pillow because that's going to do something.
Oh,
Now you can fry it up and eat it.
Tastes like chicken.
I was actually
Well.
kind of thinking that myself.
just watching
But yeah, the story I heard was the guy who owned the snake
Uh-huh.
did not know they were going to do that.
Oh.
And that scene was inspired by Tom Savini, who actually found a snake in his cabin, and they thought it would be a cool scene to have in the thing.
So they actually killed some guy's snake.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I would have been pissed.
he cried. Cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
That's not so much cultural appropriation as just a stupid kid acting like an idiot.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, that's it, and that's what people should realize.
What have you been smoking?
Crap sounds like he's been smoking some.
Yes, we know.
And there's also he's a trope too.
Yeah.
The buffoonish guy, the comedy relief.
What's he doing?
Seems awfully tall to be dwarf. Caught that. Good.
All right.
This is I read Sean Cunningham this is his least favorite scene because it doesn't make it look like they're as isolated as he wanted them to look. And he tried actually not to get this in the scene, but he kind of got outmanned on it by the writer.
I would have told those kids, clean your nose or I'll clean it for you. We'll set them straight.
I love a big pot.
That looks like a good solid one too.
Yeah,
3.
that's good. Chili pot. That's when you make chili
Right?
for 10 years and you can freeze it up. And
Now, Al, when this movie came out, was it like a big scandal?
not really. Not that I know. I know it was a hit. But like I said, it came out a couple of weeks before Empire, so I was kind of in another different universe at the time.
Oh, gotcha.
But I mean, but it was a big hit. It was a big hit. It was like in the top 20 for the year, and definitely, of course, immediately got the following.
I love the aversion to bras.
Yes.
What do we think of Ralph here? It's got a death curse.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Well, I mean, he's old enough to know that something bad went down there.
What I find, the only thing I really find weird is that he rode his bike up there, parked it, went and stood in the pantry until someone found him. That's
why
probably the weirdest thing I saw here.
That's why he's crazy, Ralph.
Do you think he like does that every day? He goes to the diner, orders some eggs, and just starts ranting about how the camp is cursed and every day?
Yeah.
No, probably only if someone mentions it or mentions
Okay.
going there or something like that.
So I wonder what else he does.
Or when he quotes unquote gets his calling, or maybe
Right.
drinks too much, or off his meds or something. Melissa's suggesting Silent Night, Deadly Night rewatch.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know what else, Al? Next time we get a Friday the 13th on the calendar, the following night for the Saturday rewatch, you should do Saturday the
Saturday the
14th.
14th. I know.
I like that. It's either a bad bulb or no power. Well, take the bulb out, stick your finger in, and then we'll find out.
Every time I see this, I think of Home Alone. You know, with the bulbs. Iron's gonna fall on her. I'm just.
I love an old stove. I was born in the wrong time.
You think? Really?
I like the older. I like modern convenience, but I like an older aesthetic.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
No, I
No,
get it.
that's exactly what, that's what the appeal of steampunk is,
Yeah.
A lot of people that love that Victorian style and all that kind of stuff, but still want the modern conveniences.
Remember the early 2000s when everything was like clear plastic and different colors, like the Apple products and stuff.
Oh God, I hated that.
Oh, beaver shot.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. I'm just.
Wait. Is this Dirty Dancing?
I don't know. Whenever I watch these movies, there's a voice in the back of my head that goes, "They deserve to die," you know.
Yeah.
Well, and usually they do, because they usually are doing something stupid. I mean, do they deserve to be murdered? No, but they could have avoided it if they'd have kept their heads. I mean that both figuratively and literally.
And of course, he likes the other girl, so he's like bummed out. But dude, it's Kevin Bacon. You're not going to win.
Just the loser that doesn't get the girl in the movie. They always have one of these, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. They're all going to get dead, except the one.
In part 4, the guy that doesn't get the girl is the guy that played the Last American Virgin in the Last American Virgin, or remember the main character in that? I thought that was
yeah.
funny.
That film, I swear, has the weirdest twist. You kind of like the girl, and then at the end, she does that little. I'm like, you bitch.
Yeah. There's some issues with that movie.
Diane Franklin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was also in Better Off Dead.
Yes. Which
Now,
God, I love that movie. Love that movie.
The dude in the Dolphins shirt that just went into the cabin there. He's not the one from American Werewolf in London, is he?
No.
Sure looks like him.
He does look similar though, yeah.
Yeah, he's similar, but that's not him.
Certain guys in the 70s, they all have a similar look. I've noticed this. Like the main guy in Bad Ronald. I keep seeing other actors that look like him. They have a similar look like that. Like the nerdy guy look from the 70s. It's like a distinct thing.
God, he looks so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her eyes. She's got very pretty eyes.
So let's see. They don't have any internet. They don't really have any video games except for Pong and Space Invaders. Maybe I'm trying to think what they did back then. I guess they had D&D, but these aren't the D&D types right here.
Yeah. Sator saying he wrote a script for a Friday the 13th film. It was a lot of fun. Didn't have a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun coming up with the cannon fodder characters.
So, there's a lot of interesting stories in the whole behind the scenes with all the licensing and all this kind of stuff, which is partly why, there's a lot of rights issues related to Friday the 13th. And with a mask, without a mask, all that kind of stuff. But one of the great, in my personal opinions, licensings that came out was the whole Freddy versus Jason concept.
Yeah.
And at the time, it coincided with a license to WizKids Games for the horror clicks. So I did get a couple sets of the Freddy versus Jason set. So you could actually have them both terrorizing Camp Crystal Lake and Elm Street and stuff.
They had played around with the idea. There was a rumor that they were going to do a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash from the Evil Dead movies.
There was hopes for that. There was actually also supposed to be a follow-up to Freddy versus Jason that was supposed to bring in the Cenobites.
Oh, the Pinhead.
Him specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it never happened.
Here we go.
Somewhere there's an older lady going, I got to make out with Kevin Bacon on screen.
Right? When we were both hot.
She could be still very hot to this day. Who knows?
So it's kind of a romance film if you think about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tragic romance.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe, you know.
I'm kidding. I was watching Roadhouse again yesterday, so I was in preparation for next week. But
so, lucky versus unlucky. Unlucky because they're about to die. Lucky because the cabins aren't leaking.
Yeah. Nice fireplace.
If it's summer, wouldn't it be warm out? I guess they're just, I don't know.
Well, it could still get pretty chilly at night.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Jersey. Who knows?
There's a deer head on the wall.
And a stuffed raccoon on the mantle. Strip Monopoly.
Baka chicka bow bow.
I hate Monopoly too. I played a Monopoly game once where I think I landed on go to jail 4 times in a row. I'm not kidding.
I haven't played in a long time. I would love to play a proper game of Monopoly. That's Bing Crosby's son. Harry Crosby.
I like the Risk. Risks is a good board game.
I always wanted to play Middle-earth Risk.
I actually have, I think it's 2 copies of New York Monopoly that still has the Twin Towers in it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so I like watching. There was that British show as time goes by, and they were playing Monopoly, but it's like the British version. It's
Cool.
kind of neat. She landed on Mayfair. Very vanilla sex, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, for the time though, you're seeing this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, you know. Ah! So,
For a dead guy, he's breathing a lot.
I never get to see the annoying guy get murdered in these. It's like the people I want to see die, I don't get to see die. Like that happened with Shelley in part 3, who I couldn't stand. Oh,
like one of my guilty pleasure slashers is called Madman, and like the irritating guy is the final survivor. I'm like, dang, I wanted him to die so bad.
huh.
Bucka chicka bow wow.
Kind of defeats the point of him covering up her boob if she shows off the other one.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm sure he was just doing it for a nice little warm place.
No,
For
all
his
of that
hand.
kind of stuff is specifically blocked out when you film a movie like this.
No, but I'm saying, that maybe
Yeah.
that was the purpose of having him do it, is because this guy would be holding her boob.
I mean, wow, she got dressed fast.
She's a woman. We know how to get dressed fast.
I guess.
I get the impression that the clothes back then were kind of cheaply made. I don't know, like those T-shirts.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there. It's like, okay, you just had sex. You're laying there. Why the hell did you put on a shirt?
I
It was cold.
it makes the effect easier. That's coming.
I was
up.
just gonna say, yeah, the blood
Yeah.
effect it's necessary for him to be wearing a shirt.
Kevin Bacon did say it's getting cold,
He
so he was
did.
putting a shirt on.
Okay. Oh, okay, I missed that. Thank
Well,
you.
But
okay,
I agree with Boomer that it probably was because of the effect, but they were at least intelligent enough to. Oh, I like that boot.
they got a piano.
Well, sure. The more you toke up, the more you're going to enjoy whatever you're doing.
I love them old models. Basically, only red stripe the only one that comes in bottles like that now. The little fat squat models.
Hmm.
Smoking kills.
Yeah, he did say that earlier, right?
Yep.
That's why this is not a dumb movie. There's a lot of things in it that are kind of clever.
Uh,
Uh,
oh!
Did I mention I don't like slasher cut 'em up movies?
I want to tell you that that's reality. You know.
well, to be honest, that was neither a cut nor a slash. It was a pierce.
True.
Yeah.
True. Although there have been enough slashes in this movie to be able to merit calling it a slasher film.
Oh, definitely.
So, are we trying to guess who the killer is at this point, audiences, for the first time, or is it just like, I don't know? Because there's no reference point. For
I mean,
any of
because
this.
we've had several different suspects, right?
You got Crazy Ralph. You got
Yeah.
the police officer. You know,
Police
you never
officer
know.
could be one. Yep.
And every one of these people here at the camp too.
Could be the trucker we saw earlier. You know,
True.
I mean, it's there are all sorts of things going on.
I do like her eyes. Sometimes I get fixated on like a feature.
They were releasing like one of these every couple of weeks when this kicked off, didn't it?
I don't think it was every couple of weeks.
There were a lot. I'm
Yeah,
surprised at how many
they
there are.
really. Yeah, this one kind of was the one that started the deluge of them.
Like I saw one recently that's called The Mutilator, but at the time they called it Fall Break. Like you're in college and you go on your fall break, and I'm like, there's no such thing as a fall break.
I see what you're saying. You didn't mean specifically Friday the 13th. You meant
Oh no, yeah, I
this
meant slash
genre
in
film.
general.
Okay.
Yeah, genre.
Then yeah, you
genre,
might
yeah.
be right. Yeah.
I mean, there were a ton of these, and the critics were getting really angry after all. Like Roger Ebert was flipping out. He
hated him and Siskel hated these kind of films.
Siskel was more mild. He was more just.
Yeah,
I just don't think they're good films. Whereas Ebert was morally abhor. I thought these were morally abhorrent. He was really upset.
Cisco's so vanilla.
Yeah.
I met
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah, and Ebert, the man who wrote Valley of the Dolls. Was it Valley of the Dolls he wrote or something like that?
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, that's it.
I don't know though. I have to cut them some slack though. They were nice to anime films, which was odd for the time. So they actually cut them slack. So But yeah, some horror movies they liked Halloween. They said Halloween was a good horror movie.
Yeah.
They both gave that thumbs up.
Because it wasn't graphic.
Well, they also said it was centered on the what's her name more than the killer. You know, was centered on
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis,
Laurie Strode.
Laurie Strode. Yeah.
Whoops. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. Yes, it is.
I'm not watching this part.
Ouch.
Oh,
That's what you call a splitting headache.
Definitely. A little Tylenol, she'll be all right.
You know, a little fun fact about the Omen movie. The Omen has some grisly deaths in it too, right? And Richard Donner said that he timed one of them for when people cover their eyes and then look up, so that it would still be going when they hope they uncover their eyes. You know, Richard Donner. Boy, those.
Why do
doors.
they even have money on the table if they're using their clothes?
Well, maybe it's like a multiple payment system.
Or maybe it's every time they land on jail or something, they have to take something off.
Well, she had said that the way you play it is instead of paying money, you pay clothes. So, I mean, if you take it literally.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you need the money to buy the properties.
Good point. Good point.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, maybe it's a rental thing, but the other
The
one
rent comes from
comes
clothes.
from clothes,
and
yeah.
There should be a Friday 13th edition of Monopoly.
There probably is.
Or just a horror version. You've landed in Haddonfield. Do you buy it?
Actually,
funny. Yeah.
when I was looking for the free version of the movie, I came across a Friday the 13th game that you can play online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can even play as the different counselors. They're playable characters, and like one person plays as Jason, and then I think the other people.
Another viable candidate for the murderer.
Yeah.
The waitress or the guy?
There is a Friday the 13th version of Monopoly, but it's not, a licensed Monopoly game.
Well, that's fine.
Friday the 13th Horror at Camp Crystal Lake, USA-opoly. From Gnome Games.
That's good enough,
Well, they make versions of like almost every city too. Like there was a Baltimore version.
Sure. I also found a discussion on the Friday the 13th franchise.com for rules on the strip Monopoly game.
How old is he, the dude with the stash? He looks too old to be the counselor there. I don't know.
He's got to be in his 30s.
Well, maybe he's like the head counselor or something. They need an
guess.
adult on the premises.
His uncle owns the property or something. I don't know.
Well, that one girl, the one who initiated the Monopoly game, looked like she was a bit on the older side.
It's hard to say. In these movies, you always have like people like when they're teenagers, it's people in their mid to late 20s playing the teenagers. So then they have to cast the adults even older.
I did one of those little click things where you see like, ooh, check out this story of it, but it was people who looked not the right age for what they really were.
Oh,
like girls who were 14 that looked like they were like 50. Sorry.
Oh, can I read Satoran Clegane's comment? Look, of course it doesn't make sense. Monopoly is the worst game to add a strip stipulation to. An average game takes 4 hours. You'd pass out before you saw a booby. He's not wrong.
Evelyn Hampton said between Friday the 13th and Grizzly, I'm glad I never went to summer camp.
See, I'm just the opposite.
I
went to
love
summer
Grizzly.
camp all the time. So this kind of stuff was like, I'd laugh at this stuff because you never saw people behaving this way. You never saw people in such small groups either. You were always in these really big groups.
You mentioned Grizzly though. That film affected me more than Jaws did.
That's a terrifying movie.
Well, yeah, because you want to avoid the shark. All you got to do is stay the hell out of the ocean.
I was laying in bed all night looking at the window above me, waiting for that big old grizzly paw to come through and like just rip me to shreds.
Doesn't like one of the characters lock themselves in the cabin and the bear's like, nice try. Oh.
It took me a while, but I finally found a version of it, thankfully.
You ever see the slash movie Happy Birthday to Me, Al?
Yes.
No.
Oh, you have seen that's a good
I have
one.
not seen that one.
That
With,
has
Melissa Sue Anderson, if I recall.
Yeah, the one from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah,
she's in
that
it,
was creepy as all get out.
Yeah, that's
Sir
a good
Torrance says it doesn't make any sense. Monopoly is the worst game to add a strip component to. An average game takes 4 hours. You'd pass out before you saw a booby.
I just said that.
Yeah, I gotta say, Boomer just read that one like about
I missed
a minute
it.
ago.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Are you sure you're just drinking a soda?
I just finished it, in fact.
The bubbles have gone to his head.
I guess.
I got a root beer, but I feel
no. Actually, I was reading a bit of trivia about it. Apparently, that whole strip scene was not in the original script.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the director on set. Let's play strip Monopoly.
Yeah. Right.
See, right now there's something odd about the guy in the raincoat, the stash.
And he's driving a Jeep.
Well, but again, I think you guys are right. I think they're throwing in a lot of these red herring type of story elements to get you thinking, oh, that's the murderer. No, that's the murderer. Well, that's kind of strange. That guy must be the murderer.
Ooh, Evelyn Hampton has Grizzly on DVD. If we want to do a rewatch, I might.
There you go.
I might pull that trigger one day. It's a hard one to find, which is why I haven't really put it on a list. But I do have an MP4 of it.
It's all yours, Al.
Yeah, that film terrified me when I was a kid because it came out like about a year or two after Jaws. And I remember seeing it with my mother and my grandmother. And I was like just absolutely freaked out by it.
And I'm kind of glad that they went with the obvious name Grizzly instead of the working title Land Shark.
Land Shark.
If it was an actual shark that was attacking people on land, that might be interesting.
Canagram. No, that was Ouija Shark.
Ouija Shark, right.
Ouija Shark. Ouija Shark.
So I have this movie in a 4-disc set. Even comes with 3D glasses if you want to partake in part 3 with the 3D, which I don't because it's ridiculous.
So Target Gay wants a movie called Land Shark. You know, there may be a version. There may be a movie out there called Land Shark. I know there's one called Sand Shark, which I think is basically a shark that's going through sand.
I still want to watch Velocipaster.
Yeah, I've heard a few people talking about that one. That
part Christian preacher, part Velociraptor. That makes no sense.
There is a film called Land Shark.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
It's from 2017. I'm surprised it took that long to think of it.
I always remember there was this old, I think it was a Carol Burnett sketch based on Jaws, where there was like a shark in the toilet, and Harvey Korman plays the Quint character, and I don't know, it's like one of those things I remember only seeing it one time. Why?
It would take a lot to get me out in the rain.
In the rain, in your nightgown. But she hears a kid screaming for help, or somebody screaming for help.
No raincoat. Now, this was an R-rated film when it came out, right?
Yes.
Do you think all the kids in the theater were like above age? You think people were
Oh,
sneaking in?
I'm sure there were a lot of parents back then that were pretty okay with it.
Oh my gosh. I just saw some stills from the 2017 Land Shark. It looks terrible.
This is creepy, huh?
Okay, you know what? She's got the right flashlight for being out there, man. That
Right.
If you're going to defend yourself, that's a good one to have. But sadly, she doesn't. Like I said, fairly mild for what they would eventually become, which is a good. It's got a good balance. You do get some blood and guts, but you also get just terrifying scenes.
Yeah, we had my dad was a cop, so we have a policeman's flashlight. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah, those are huge.
Yeah, those are sweet.
You could hurt someone with one of those. Okay.
Which is why they exist. Hi, Joshua B. Welcome. If you're watching Friday the 13th, we're at 5750 mark, so we're about two-thirds of the way through.
You have missed so much. You're not going to be able to keep up at this point. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't want to say this is a slow burn, but
Kinda is.
I mean, the second one, the pace picks up a bit compared to this
Yeah.
one.
It was, I like a slow burn now.
They're not
I mean,
bad.
Yeah, they really were. The audiences have gotten so gimme, 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 that they don't have the patience for a slower pace sometimes.
That is one of the things that Script Doctor talks about on Midnight's Edge a lot, is pacing, and how pacing in movies is probably one of his biggest problems with a lot of writers these days.
Al, have you seen a movie called The House with the Devil?
House with the Devil.
No, not that. Sorry, The House of the Devil. Excuse me.
House of the Devil. Why, it sounds familiar. How old is it?
It came out in I think 2009, but
Probably not.
It's made to look like a movie that was made in the early 80s, though, so it looks like this, okay? But it's a slow burn. You might get a kick out of it. You like slow burn horror movies? Yeah, House of the Devil.
Check that out. I'll have to check that out.
It really does look like an older horror
Oh
movie.
look, a lovely axe.
What gets me is it's a clean axe.
Why is there blood?
Why was there blood on the sheet, but absolutely none on the axe head itself?
Well,
Mrs. Voorhees took an axe and gave the counselors 40 whacks.
And Sir Torin said that he thinks that the land shark is cute. He wants one.
Not as cute as Ouija Shark. Ouija Shark's adorable.
Yeah, Ouija shark can fly.
Yeah. And is a ghost.
Like Mary Poppins?
It kind of like floats really slow.
Yeah, you've got it. I swear, it's like just.
It's the kind of thing you can't describe. You've got to see it.
It's amazing how bad it is, but it's
I couldn't even be scared about that one. It's like I'm thinking shark. It's gonna be really scary. No, it was the stupidest thing we ever watched.
Because most of the time it's like the shark is basically a puppet with the guy going, like. Oh, it's so funny.
Like those raincoats. Did raincoats only come in one style back then? Bright yellow?
No, well, one guy had like a poncho that was kind of orangey.
Okay.
I think yellow is pretty standard as a warning. See, he's got like a reddish one on this. But you want the bright one to stand out in rain, low visibility.
See, that's just the thing. Kids today would be like, "What's a payphone?"
Oh, it's bad enough they don't know what a dial phone is.
Yeah,
I remember those. You used to have to buy those things to put on the end of pencils. So you don't have to wear out your finger, right? You twist it. Remember those?
Yeah, the bad thing about rotary phones is if you didn't put the dial all the way around, you had to start over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be laughing
Explanation?
about this. we'll be
You'll
laughing.
be laughing about it in hell. No.
Right.
There's a logical explanation for this. Like what? Ex-murderer?
Now, see, the last murder would have taken this guy out of consideration because he wasn't there. He's with the
Right.
cop.
True.
Actually, both of these guys,
Yep.
they're together. I am kind of glad they acknowledged the full moon thing too, because they did open up the movie on the full moon.
Yeah.
They did it in search of about how people act during the full moon. Remember the old Leonard Nimoy series
Yep.
about the effects of the full moon? I remember that.
Yeah. They did a lot of weird. I mean, I always preferred like the more mainstream kind of mysteries, but they every now and then they delved into an odd one. A very niche.
Yeah, they did an episode on Richard III. I remember that.
Yep. On Troy, finding of Troy.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember because they had a guy playing Heinrich Schliemann running around Troy to recreate Achilles chasing Hector.
And I always found it annoying to have a guy running around me. Come on.
I
was
get
obvious.
it.
I had
Yes,
to do
I
it.
know you had to do that. I know. He's a running.
That's barely a jog.
Hey, but the rain stopped.
I'm imagining the director behind him says, "Run! No, not that fast. Slow it down. Now you're stopping. Just." Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
I'm stabbing you.
Who is it? I'm like, who's the killer?
Obviously, it's somebody that when you see them, you don't think that they're terribly menacing looking.
Or you may even know.
Right, exactly.
Danger.
Danger, danger, Will Robinson.
High voltage. Now, I'm thinking that's supposed to come into play later, right? But no, I don't know. There goes the lights.
Yeah, was that the lights going out or was that just a scene change? Now, if this was a comedy parody, you'd actually have someone say, did the lights just go out or did we just have a scene change?
Yeah.
This guy should get set on fire. That's how I'd kill him, you know. Like he's trying to get the fluid or whatever for the lamps, and then like someone pours it on him, and you know.
You mean like Helena Bonham Carter in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Yeah, well, she turned into a living firework. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, she burned the whole house down. That was a little over the top.
A little over the top. I see
never-
what you did there.
I've never lit one of those lights. I've always had the battery one.
Well, that's because these kids weren't in. You know, they still remember the old ways a little bit because they're in
Yeah.
the late '70s, so they're not going to be.
Yeah, they didn't
They were-
have, the
they had the-
halogens and the stuff.
The high techie.
Or LEDs or whatever.
Now I did have like a little propane heater. Looked like a little satellite dish.
That's what you need is propane.
Propane accessories. Ooh, balloons. The loons are on the lake. It's on Golden Pond. So,
I better go find out what's going on with the power.
yeah, Harry Crosby, I don't know if he ever did much with his career. I mean, like I said, he was Bing's kid, but well, he's an investment banker now.
Hey,
That means he was related to Denise.
Yep, half brother. No, that's Dennis. Wait a minute. Yeah, half niece. This is half niece.
was he gonna pour fuel? Maybe we'll get set on fire. I'm trying to remember what happened here.
I don't know.
But can you,
Oh,
but can you imagine just like being a banker and like some guy goes, "You look familiar." Well, did you ever see Friday the 13th? That's it. It's not a bad thing to have on your resume. You know, like automatically get invited to horror shows and memorabilia shows.
maybe he'll just get knocked out. He's like the boyfriend interest, right? I don't know.
See, all the pretty girls are dead. Now the cute girl is the only one left. It doesn't pay to be beautiful or pretty. You got to be cute. That's how you survive.
It's a gas stove.
I love a gas. That's what we used to have was a gas stove. Now we've got a electric. It's a little different.
I've never had an electric stove.
We had gas in New Jersey, but then electric down here. I think the food came out a little better in gas, but I guess electric's safer though.
Well, I like it because it's instant response.
Yeah.
If you turn it off, it goes off. It doesn't sit there and continue to heat.
Is that some
And
instant
and
coffee?
And this place has very sensitive smoke detectors, which my mother found out the first time she fried up something. But they're actually, I learned they're meant to be sensitive because of the population that lives here.
Understood.
Oh, look at that old jar lid.
Is that a mason?
It's just a canning jar or mason jar.
Yeah, but it's like one of those old style ones. That still makes it so cool.
So is that the Folgers?
Might be, if it was a Hallmark movie, it'd be Folgers. But
That says it looks like it says Warren or
The orange one is Sanka.
Okay.
yeah, the one next to it says it's either WARARIN or maybe it's an M or an NARIN. It's hard to see it at that angle.
yeah.
Bill, where are you? Bill?
Yeah, the problem is that in a movie like this, they haven't seen enough dead people yet to know. Can't find somebody, they're probably dead.
Yeah. Melissa recommends the film called The Burning, which is actually on my list to watch.
You'll like it. It's kind of like these. It's more. It has that young Jason Alexander in it
Ooh.
when he had hair.
Ooh.
In fact, I think The Burning came out the same year as Friday the 13th Part 2, and they're very similar in the story they tell. But
Yikes.
oh,
Yeah.
That's what you call overkill.
Of course,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
tell that's not like a person. It looks so much like a rubber dummy.
yeah.
Well, here's the other problem. How did the killer lift that person up to stab him with a bunch of arrows?
It's called Pure Adrenaline.
It's called Following the
You might
Script.
know. Yeah, you might have something there. It's a crazy person who's just all, pumped up. Could be. You're right.
Lock your door. Holding on to the doorknob, not going to do jack. Lock the door.
There are no locks here, probably.
Well, at least she's being clever.
I like the big exit sign on top of the door. It's like, okay.
So Torka Gaines right. Mary shot JR and Denise was on Star Trek. I remember when she shot JR. That was a big, huge deal back in. In fact, it was around this time, 1980 or something like that. I was in high school.
Like that. If I pull the curtains, I'm safe.
Well, it is a measure of safety. What are those doing? Oh, well, no, because the door opens outward.
Yeah, she's blocking it. Maybe she's not thinking. She's just throwing anything she can at a door and hopefully stop.
Those dirty magazines on top of that thing.
One can only hope.
Well, I would have left the chest flat and put the chair on top of it, to build the barrier, because now everything's going to slide.
She knows
Like
nothing
that.
about physics. Ooh, old typewriter.
Yeah, and instead of all that crap, she could have just slid the desk over.
Yeah, that might have made more sense. It's called tension, Troy. They're trying to build it up by having her just pile and pile more and more things on. Right?
I guess.
Could have an apple,
Yeah.
fresh apple. This whole cabin looks grimy to me.
Well,
Is that-
that's been
Not
sitting there for a
grimy,
while.
rustic.
Rustic, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. That's how they sell it to you, I'm sure. Okay. I'm sure termites haven't eaten half of it away. Come on.
Just like you put down, it's a
Oh,
fixer.
now she's got a fork. She's
Well-
armed. She's going to fork somebody.
I watched a movie called Knock Knock, which was an Eli Roth movie with Keanu Reeves, and one of the people, after a minute, stabs him with a fork in the bad part of his shoulder, and it takes him down. It's like... Because... Oh, no. Is this when you have to lose it? Did she lose the fear roll, Troy?
Probably, yeah. She is now stunned.
It's so horrific. She can't take her eyes off of it.
Right.
I don't know if anybody would actually act like that. They would probably scream and then get as far away from it as possible.
Oh, it's a Roper stove.
That couldn't have been intentional.
It's the sheriff, but now you can't get out because you tied your door shut.
Oh, look. Now she has to remove everything. That didn't take long, did it?
Nope.
No.
She looks like a PTA mom. you know? It's like- Who do you think the killer is, Nanette?
The lady?
I have to say, what was that movie, Murder by Death, where the one guy was screaming at the different mystery characters, saying, introducing suspects in the last 10 minutes that are the killers?
Yeah. That's a fun film, Murder by Death. Peter Falk and Peter Sellers, and
Oh,
Alec
that
Guinness.
one. That's the one. I got to go to the can again. I don't want to miss nothing.
This is such BS. If you were watching this I would feel cheated. You don't introduce your murder suspect at like what, the last 15 minutes of the movie, okay? Come on. You're supposed to guess.
And it's almost broadcasting it, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, well, wait a minute. Who is she? Why do I care about her?
Da, da, da.
Oh, she's mad.
Oh.
His name was Jason. Well, you're the mother.
I like it.
Where were you? I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
good point.
he was at camp. He was supposed to be being watched.
Yeah, but she's his mother. She should have been keeping an eye on her kid.
But
She was there.
Betsy Palmer always is asked about, the guy being the mother of Jason, the guy in the hockey mask. She's like, "That's not my son. My son died."
this is creepy. Seeing the kid. Right?
A little fourth wall break there.
Psychopath.
She's part crazy.
Now, see, this is again.
Hit her again.
What? Yeah. You don't. You jump up and down on her head till she stops moving, and then a few more just to be on the safe side.
Now she's screaming. She's seeing more dead bodies.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Why run from the dead body? The dead body's not going to hurt you. Neither is that one.
Oh, I always like bringing up people who are offered roles. Sally Field was offered the role of Alice.
Oh,
I can see it. I can see it.
And the mother, they had Estelle Parsons and Shelley Winters. Or offered the role.
Shelley Winters would have been awesome.
Wasn't she in Peach Dragon, Shelley Winters?
I don't know. I haven't seen Pete's Dragon in forever.
You know what I just realized?
Why didn't the girl jump in the Jeep and drive away?
Because she saw the dead body. That's what I was saying. Why is she afraid of the dead body? That's not going to hurt her. This is kind of like a role reversal of Psycho. This one, the mother
It's the son becomes the son.
Is the murderer and thinks she's the son. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this.
Dang, it's an arsenal.
Was there a skeet shooting competition at this camp? What's going on here?
Yeah, it might be.
Oh yeah, I mean, at the camps that I used to go to, they had 22 rifles, and you do target shoots.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was very, very common. Heck, back in the 40s and 50s, they did that in public schools, during PE class.
See, that I would have preferred the stupid volleyball.
That would have been awesome. Guns in schools now is such a big issue.
Oh man.
She is so creepy.
Right?
I forgot how creepy she was.
I'm gonna hit you with this twine. You need more fiber.
You know.
Now that's kind of funny too. Killer's been going around stabbing people and slashing them, but she's just gonna slap her.
Well, she's the last one, so she's got to take her time.
Take her time,
okay?
enjoy it, savor it, right? Ooh. And again, she gets her down and she runs instead of beating the loving snot out of
I'm
her.
gonna say I'm gonna say you had her down. Do her in.
Yeah.
But then you go
Take
you
her
go on
knife away from her, at least.
you go on trial for murder.
All right.
You know what's really sad is that the Mrs. Voorhees in here is like about 5 years younger than I am now at the time.
Oh.
I was like, oh man, I'm older than Jason's mom in Friday the 13th.
As she's going along, I'm expecting her to go, I'm coming to get you, Barbara.
Right.
There's that moon again. It makes people go batty. You like those teeth? Oh,
They
no.
are
See,
sharp
well,
teeth, yeah.
Yeah, I know. She'll always take a bite out of you. You know, it's like. I don't like her sweater. Mrs. Voorhees' sweater. That's. I don't like it. It's not flattering. It's not flattering.
Oh.
That's what you're concerned about in the murderer.
I don't like the murderer to look like the average person I see every day. That I want them to look.
But that's
like
the way
crazy.
it literally works out, right?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
It's like that's who you expect to be. You know, you run into them at a grocery store or something. You're not expecting them to be like.
I mean, in real life, you know, your suspects all look like normal people. You don't look at a line of normal people and one guy with a hockey mask and go, I'm not sure.
I'm looking for the guy with the twisted grin or something. You know, the
Right.
goth-looking guy. Oh, he's the killer. You know, has to be. You know, it's like.
I like the idea of the everyman killer or the
Right.
or woman, you know. Ooh. Bright light, bright light.
I mean, that's why Scream was so effective.
She is not an impressive final girl. I'm just going to say that.
No, true.
I'm not. She is stretching this out. It's like they shot all the cool murder scenes and like, great, that's a wrap. Oh, we got at least another half an hour to shoot. You know, it's like she knocks her down, runs away, knocks her down, runs away again. Now she's gonna whimper in a corner for about 5 minutes. It's like.
So Melissa Harris kind of makes my point. She says Mrs. Voorhees looks like a grandma or an elderly next door lady.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I'm supposed to believe she lifted this guy up with one hand and stabbed him with a bunch of arrows with the other.
Yes, you are, Troy.
Okay, this is what I think happened. The guy hopped up screaming, and then she shot the arrow while he was midair, and it hooked him to the wall.
And one arrow held his body weight.
Well, then she kept shooting. It was like rapid. It was like Rambo.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Gotcha,
Come on.
gotcha. Here's Johnny.
It was like the crossbow and Hawk the Slayer.
Now hit her again. Kick her. Stomp on her.
You know, you see where Jason gets it.
No, she saw the blood. She's
Keep
like,
coming after me, people.
I
Stupid
can't.
girl.
I can't kill her. She could have been my best friend, you know, if things
Oh,
had worked
for
out a little
crying out
differently.
loud. She killed all of her friends. She's
Maybe she
trying to kill
can
you.
get some
Make
treatment.
her
She looks-
dead.
She looks like she makes a good batch of Christmas cookies.
Yeah, yes.
So bake her into a batch of cookies.
Chris,
Mrs. Voorhees snickerdoodles.
Made with real Voorhees.
A Christmas party at Mrs. Voorhees. That could be an SNL skit, right?
Oh, jeez.
Christmas cookies look like a little hockey mask. A little hockey mask cut out for Christmas cookies.
Cookies, mommy. Cookies.
Jason loved Christmas.
Yeah,
I used to dress up as Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. He couldn't even tell it was me. She'd give the Santa Claus stories. Why is she just sitting there?
Right?
Oh, jeez.
You better start taking care
The
of
music
business.
is even very reminiscent of Psycho.
Yeah. Well, that's
See, if you'd hit her again, she wouldn't be after you now.
I don't know. She was a much more effective killer when you couldn't see her.
Yeah.
You know, you have a point.
Oh my gosh, she did bite her. We were talking about the teeth earlier.
Yeah, man. Chicks fight, man. They bite.
Well, here's an interesting point, Troy. Wouldn't it have been funny if maybe Jason was running around watching all this? Because they say he sees this, right? Maybe he's the one that put the guy against the wall. Maybe that wasn't
Yeah,
her.
but if you're buying the scene from the end, he's still basically just a kid.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, you got to. Okay.
Oh.
Hi, Mommy.
Oh!
Finally.
Think she'll need some therapy after this?
No, she dies in the next movie.
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning of the first damn of the thing.
Spoilers. No, it's that was a good slow motion
Yeah.
decapitation.
So you've killed the murderer. There is no one to run from, but you're going to get in a canoe and go out to the middle of the lake just for fuck's sake.
Well,
Without a paddle because you just lost the paddle a second ago.
Got chopped up.
Yeah.
You know, at least she's getting away from another attack
She's using
in
her
case she
hand.
does come back again somehow.
So why didn't she just jump in the Jeep and drive into town?
Right. That's what I said back at the you don't run from a possible avenue to safety just because there's a dead body in the car.
She's in shock. She does.
And yet she did a
Makes a
decent
stupid
job of
decision.
continuing to fight.
Yeah. What's that animal instinct? Just that will to survive kind of deal. Melissa says Ms. Voorhees couldn't keep her head straight.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum.
Oh.
She lost her head and then she lost her head.
This is the police. Like, what, 6 hours later?
Who called them?
Yeah, because the camp phone wasn't working.
Maybe Crazy Ralph came by and saw all of it.
I told them this place has a death curse. Dang, kids never learn, you know. It's
It's like, hello, are you dead in the boat?
Not yet.
what? This makes no sense. Why get in the boat?
No, it really doesn't. It makes
And that's a
not
canoe, right?
lick of
That's like-
sense.
In the middle of the night? No.
And why are you putting your hand in the water? What?
Yeah. Yeah. Which would be just fine with me, except she comes back in the next movie.
Well, yeah, I gotta say it doesn't end
Yeah.
there, though.
No,
So
see, it's a dream.
It didn't happen. But it did because he does come back.
This is like the cliffhanger, you know? It's like he's still out there, so maybe they'll do another one. They wanted to get Tom Savini for the second one, and he's like, "Oh, Jason's going to be the killer in this one." He's like, "Jason's not the killer. Jason drowned in the first movie. That's why the mother." He says that doesn't make any sense. He said, "I'm not doing it." He did the burning instead, actually. So if you watch the burning out, Savini did the effects for that as well. But
okay, can we just say that nurse is hot?
Well, you can say it. I don't think that.
No, she's got the
She's
hat and
okay,
everything.
I guess.
I don't know. She's not
Sorry,
like
not my flavor.
The boy, is he dead? Oh, here we go.
All the boys are dead. Oh.
I'm assuming that this is supposed to mean she kind of she's kind of snapped a little bit. I think one of the ideas for the sequel is that she was actually going to be in a mental institution, right? And it was going to be about a
That
killer
would have
in
made
there.
sense.
But that's not where they went. But that was an idea they floated around, I think. Yeah.
Then he's still out there.
Well, yeah, I guess he is.
You should look at the doc, and the doc should just shake his head. You know, like this one's a goner.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. I'm staring at that nose for some reason. Okay, there we go. All right. In the water.
Peaceful lake.
He's down there somewhere.
Waiting.
Okay.
I may now have to rewatch the second one just to kind of get my head around exactly how they do make the leap to Jason.
The second one has my favorite murder in any of these movies. It's in such bad taste.
Are you talking about the guy walking on his hands?
No, that's part 3.
Oh, that's
also
part
in bad
3.
taste.
Okay.
No, the guy in the wheelchair. To spoil things.
Oh,
okay.
Part 3 has some almost hysterical murders, like the arrow through the eye, but because they did the 3D effect, you see it and it's like on a string flying.
So bad.
And it
You had the hippies. That was part 3 is the one. There are hippies in it. There are Death Wish style gang members in it in a scene. For some reason, they're out near Camp Crystal Lake. Like they're out of a Death Wish movie. I don't know why they're in that movie. It's
yeah, that's the part. Yeah, part 3 because of the 3D. I mean, because I remember what the 3D thing was, because they had Coming at You was like the first film that came out, and then suddenly everything started coming out in 3D. This Friday 13th 3D, Jaws 3D. Wow, God, now what was it? Space Hunter and the Forbidden Zone.
Yes, that one was a good one. I like that one.
Molly Ringwald.
Oh, Melissa Harris is bringing up the Psycho 2, the scene with the shovel to the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad cracked up at that scene.
Actually, it's interesting. In the early 80s, the 3D that they did was really good 3D. Mm-hmm. I feel like the 3D they have now is nowhere near as good.
Well, they just kind of toss it in now. They do it by computer now instead of trying to really do a good 3D effect.
We had a big problem for a while where, like, James Cameron, when he made Avatar, he was making that specifically for the 3D stuff was built into it. And then they started trying retrofitting movies that came out after, making them 3D when they weren't really supposed to be 3D.
Yeah.
That was a big thing that happened.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that all the 3D now, it looks like 3D like a window box. Like it ends at the screen and you're seeing back into the depth. Whereas back in the 80s, it was coming out of the screen right at your face.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Well, folks, that was Friday the 13th, the original, the one that started it all. Very tame when you consider like what has come since then. Of course, next for Big Al Presents, August is Arthurian August. The next 2 weeks from tonight, we will be watching the great film Sword of the Valiant. I say great with the quotation marks around it. But it's a very fun film. Sean Connery as the Green Knight. Of course, hey, very timely considering Dev Patel's got a new movie out about the Green Knight
That's right.
in theater. So this is another version of the Green Knight mythos starring Miles O'Keefe and Sean Connery. Really a lot of fun. I really like that movie. And Boomer, Sir Boomer,
I'll be there.
shall be joining us, and I, Sir Al. It'll be Sir Al Presents night that night. I've already done the thumbmbnail with it for it.
Well, I
with
made
Sir
a point.
Al in it.
If I'm going to be a character from the movie, I want to be Oswald. Okay.
You want to be Oswald?
Of course, I can just pick that for the
be,
thumbnail. Yeah.
I'm going to be Connery, so that's going to be mine. I'm choosing that right now. Of course, Troy, you can be Gawain if you would like, or any other character that may
Troy
be in there.
could be the king.
Could be Arthur.
It's good
Trevor
to be the
Howard.
king.
Trevor Howard was played King Arthur in that.
No, I want to be Oswald because he's like the most
He's the one that was the bad Nazi guy in Raiders
bad
of the
guy
Lost Ark.
in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I didn't even realize that until I rewatched him. Like that's
Ronald
that same actor. Oh.
Ronald Lacey, I believe, is his name. He just looks creepy, but he does. His part in that film is pretty funny.
He's a despicable character.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Looking forward to watching it again. And of course, 2 weeks after that, we will be watching the original Excalibur, John Borman's great take on the Arthurian legend. Been wanting to do this one for a long time. Looking forward to that. But of course, before that, next week on Netter's Network's Retro Cinema, what are we watching, Netter? We're still in the A's, I know.
We're still in the A's. Actually, I'm not downstairs. So, Troy, what comes after Amadeus? You just out the next A is.
I think
you
had decided that the next one was going to be Amityville Horror.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Oh.
The original Amityville Horror. The one
The
that you
Amityville
originally
Horror.
said halfway through it. Have we gotten to the scary part yet?
So, Amityville Horror will be it. Yeah, I remember reading the books and going, okay, this is kind of creepy, but not like scary. And then, we're watching the films and it's like, yeah, I kind of remember this part. Okay, wait, where's the scary part?
Yeah.
I like it. I remember when all that was like before it was a movie. Fun story. I asked my mother, it's like, Mom, I really want to see the film The Amityville Horror. But of course, how I pronounced the word horror sounded like whore.
Horror.
And she's like, I'm not going to take you to a movie like that. So it took a long time for me to finally get to see the movie because it came out, 79? Same about a year before this one, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
79. So I was 14. So I just couldn't go to any movie I wanted to back then. Darn it. But looking forward to that one. And what's ahead this week for me is Tuesday night. I think we're off Tuesday night. I don't think we're not ready to do Two Towers yet, especially since I haven't gotten my copy yet because I still haven't unpacked because I still don't have bookcases. And they're bitter. But do you know Thursday night we're doing the first 5 chapters of the second book in the Darth Bane trilogy, The Rule of Two. That'll be on the Professor Geek channel, so looking forward to that. Friday night, I'll probably be on Fan Man Tonight again. 7 or 8 o'clock, not quite sure. That's all depending on the Fan Man. Of course, he's still got his Second Cup Cafe going on. But even sooner than that, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, the Geeky Geezers. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife at some point, aren't you?
Yes, we'll be discussing that. He's discussing many things. Well, we'll
Spoilers.
talk about that. It's gonna
Well,
be in
you
the
know,
thumbnail, I'm sure.
It's an amuse-bouche. It's like a little taste of what's to come. Let me guess, see if I can see some of the topics. We got Ghostbusters Afterlife, because that's big. Scarlett Johansson not happy with Disney. That's got to be a good topic to tackle. Not quite sure. Did you guys see the new Mandalorian poster that they released
I actually got 2 of them.
with Luke and Grogu? And Grogu,
and it's sold out now. It's completely sold out.
I just got the little pictures on the thing, which is fine for me.
Great little story behind that. Apparently, the artist was a big fan and just did it because he felt like doing it, and he said, "Hey, let me see if I can get a license to sell these things," and he got a license from Lucasfilm for a very limited number. He sold them. It's done, and there's currently no reason to believe he's going to be able to renew that license.
But yeah, beautiful little thing, leading to the possibility that Grogu will have a yellow-bladed lightsaber.
Yep.
Which I think would work. That'll work for him. I think that'll be cool. That or green, I think, would be good for a little Grogu. But definitely tune in.
I guess it depends if he takes after his mom or he takes after his dad, right?
Well, we do not know who his mother and father are.
No, we don't. But
and we do know, and something happened with Yaddle between the first, second film because the last film because second and first because Ahsoka Tano did not know Yaddle. She's only ever met Yoda. So it's the only member of that species she ever met was Yoda.
That's true.
So Yaddle is somewhere. But so yeah, definitely turn into Geekies tomorrow night. Any other things coming up for anybody?
Soundtracks with Birdman. Wednesday we'll be doing Star Trek Insurrection. I believe Chris P is going to be on with us that night.
Oh, and I know the week after that you have a super uber duper special guest for the Burbs.
Yes.
Me. I'm gonna be
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be joining Birdman and Boomer and watching the Tom Hanks film The Burbs. I haven't seen that one since I saw it the first time in the theater.
Oh,
Never
wow,
saw it.
okay.
I've already seen it the one time. Looking forward to it.
I consider it a good like end of summer movie.
Yeah.
That is because
it's be a fun little kind. Sometimes there are those films that you're not trying to win an award. You're just trying to get people in the theater to have fun while they're eating their popcorn, and that's the kind of movie it is.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Those are the good ones to go to. So Insurrection this week on Soundtracks of Birdman. That's 8:30 on Wednesday, correct?
Yep.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time. That is. Netter, anything coming up on Netter's network besides the rewatch?
I'm trying to edit a video, which I hope to get out this week. So there might be some new content for me soon.
Oh, that's cool. Anything from Cartan coming up?
Yep. So Friday we will for sure be. We're doing take 2 on Roadhouse. This Friday.
Oh, Roadhouse. Roadhouse, as Peter Griffin likes to say.
It'd be funny if you get Bud Boy Productions on with us. We'll just say, this is what the United States is like. This is what you're in for when you come.
I'll ask him if he wants to. I mean,
because
it could be.
So that's 10 o'clock on Friday, correct?
That's 10 o'clock your time, 9 mine. Okay, and I may try to get out another short video like I did last week. There's a couple things that I've been thinking about that I'd like to.
Yeah, I've got like I said, I've got a couple. I've got a couple things out. Of course, I did that review of the Tomorrow War, and I did a review of Gunpowder Milkshake, and a little ramble inspired by Ghostbusters Afterlife about the current state of a lot of our things. I hope you take a look at it. It's just me rambling, which is a lot of them's going to be. My reviews are going to be like pre-written and me just talking it. Reading it, and then maybe a little babble at the end. But I'm hoping to get at least one out this week. I've got I got a copy of Jungle Cruise. Maybe, you know, we'll see. Who knows? We'll see if I get inspired to do a review of that. Looking forward to see it because I love me some Emily Blunt and I like The Rock. So
I really did like your talk about the Ghostbusters trailer. It was very much in line with what I was saying too. I think it's I'm really
I mean,
fired up about it.
I get a lot of people are gun shy, but I can't go through my life being gun shy. I've got to give something a chance, and there's nothing in Ghostbusters Afterlife and anything I've read or seen that gives me any trepidation.
I would go even farther than that. It's not only that everything we've seen looked good and we haven't seen anything bad. The fact that it's coming into existence says a lot. That the fact that 2016 lost money. There is no reason for them to do a sequel, but they're doing a sequel. That tells me they know that if they stay away from what they screwed up in the first place,
Right.
that,
As I mentioned in my video, you can put Ghostbusters 2006 in a little box, put it in a septic tank, and let it seep into the abyss and disappear. And that's all we need to do. We can just forget about it ever existed. If they get into the bargain bin, you get them for a couple dollars, you know, get a gun, you know, have a little target practice, be a lot of fun.
Yeah, 2016 was so bad that we actually saw it for a bargain at Target, and I jokingly said, "Troy, hey, should we get this?" He goes, "Oh, hell's no."
Yeah, I think it was under $10. I don't remember what it was. I'm like, no, it's still overpriced.
Yeah. I have seen 80% of it, and I'm still scarred. So
You couldn't get through it, huh?
I couldn't get through it. And I saw like part of the end, and I'm like, what the, it just was just horrible stuff. And the sad thing is, I like the people in it. Well, with a few exceptions. Like Kristen Wiig. I like Kristen Wiig. I don't mind her, but I know what they were trying to do, and it just went awry. And they just, come up with something original, like Gunpowder Milkshake. Totally its own thing. I mean, yeah, it borrows from a style, but it's original characters. So I don't mind what you do in that one because it's original. It's your own creation. You're not messing up anything else. So, have a lot of fun watching what you can. But like I said, so that's all. I'm glad everybody could join me, and the Pacellis and the sudden last minute special guest of Agent Boomer. Thank you so much for joining me at the last minute there, Boomer. I'm glad to have you anytime. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the weekend. And like I said, find a film, enjoy it, and butter that popcorn up real good. Any final words?
As always, I appreciate everyone for always joining us. If you weren't here, like I always say, we'd just be talking amongst ourselves, which would be fine, but it's more fun when you guys are here to join us.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So everyone, take care, and like I said, keep your loved ones close because you never know.
Right.
Going back to the beginning of the show, but have a great day tomorrow, and definitely take care, everyone. Bye.